The 203-point mark. That's pretty good.
Upstate New York and Watkins Glen is here we are for the next race of the NASCAR International Cup Series. And we are already underway here with Fontaine in first, starting us off. Let's see who makes it over to the first corner. Huckleberry has a good run thanks to his teammate, and it will be Huckleberry who takes the whole shot. Volkswagen teammates take first and second, with the 16 of Fontaine in third and the 8 of Gustavo Namarza in fourth. And then we have Mason-Dixon teammates with Kronberg and Fontaine in fifth and sixth. Buckworth has already got himself a pretty good gap thanks to his teammate going into the whole shot. 9 laps, very high banking around the turns. It's the perfect NASCAR themed road course, that's for sure. It will be Buckworth Huckleberry who is on the pole, who takes lap 1 with his teammate in second. As you can see here, we can get a wonderful view of almost the entire track. If you look into your middle right screen, coming into your top right now, you can see Buckworth Huckleberry going down the back straightaway into the bus stop. There they go into the bus stop right now towards the bottom of your screen. Let's get back to the action. We are now spectating Luis Fontaine, who was in third, whose last win was at Riggy Raceway back in Canada. Not too far from here. We could be seeing an overtake opportunity between Kronberg and Namarza. Turn it is still Buckworth Huckleberry in first. But Kronberg is looking. He knows that he's currently in third after being almost outside the top 10 a few races ago, winning 2 races in a row. But now he knows that he's going to have to get even more good positions, especially ahead of Martin in the 8, if he wants to advance to the top of the table. Meanwhile, we will see Levante Martin, who has gone way off and used the run-up to gain a lot of speed coming into turn 2. Meanwhile, let's look at some of the other entries. Here is the 20 of Guy, who was battling with Steve Rada, who is currently sitting in. Let's see here, he is sitting in 16th. And then we have the number 65 of... Then we have the 65 of Stevenson, who is currently in. 65 of Stevenson is currently in 24th, expanding to a 32-car field. Although he is driving a Mustang Shelby, he is not part of Mason-Dixon Motorsports. He is part of his own team. Let's get back to the action up front. Back to the action up front. It is still the same. It is still the 2 Volkswagen teammates who are in front. The 96 has not passed in the 8 yet. There hasn't been a lot of overtake quite yet. We will see drivers hopefully going for dive bombs towards the end of the race. Maybe here's a chance here with the 8 of Luis Gustavo Namarza. Fontaine. And it is Fort Fontaine who does better into that corner. Coming into the banked turn, Morrison Jr. looks on the outside to work with his teammate. I can imagine Morrison Jr. is going to want to go against his teammate until the last couple of laps or so. 4 laps down, 5 to go here at the Glen. And it's still Buckles Huckleberry in the lead. Here is Bill Edgewater, who won a good couple races in the beginning of the season, but fell off a little. Oh, and Dustin Morrison Jr. looks like he's blown a motor. If you go into his cockpit, you can't tell what's wrong with the inside, but he's definitely blown something. That's going to cost him greatly. He's going to lose a lot of positions because of that. And Edgewater doesn't see Morrison Jr. in time, and that's going to damage the 10 and the 7. And that's going to let Martin pass. Is the 7 going to cause more damage now? It doesn't look like it. The 7 is now way in the back. Not quite in last place, but the 22 is into the dirt, and Dustin Morrison Jr. has fallen back. His day is definitely done for. Very disappointing ending for Morrison Jr. despite running in second all race. That has gotta hurt. Before we continue to lap 6, let's see what happened exactly. We go into his cockpit. Yeah, you can't see anything wrong. He just blew a motor in his engine. But let's get back to lap 6. And it's also the 80 of Jay Salter who's forced to go into the garage. But even though it was due to the sacrifice of his teammate, on the bright side, Buckworth Huckleberry has a gigantic lead over the rest of the pack by almost 4 seconds. This battle for 2nd through 5th, just like at Dover when Kronberg was defeating the competition, we now have Huckleberry killing the competition, and now we're seeing the battle for 2nd here. Kronberg is definitely going to want to get past the 8s to overtake in the standings. Meanwhile, your points leader, Levante Martin, is in 8th, and he's basically all by himself. Way far ahead of Nick Baker, way behind Leonardo Pasquale. He's just holding on to the 8th position. Coming into the last lap here at Watkins Glen. 1 to go. Buckworth Huckleberry has a great lead, but now we are going to see these drivers start to get a little aggressive here. Coming into turn 1 at the final lap. It is Felix. The number 8 has gotten a good boost, as has the 16 as well. Got a good amount of distance between them and the 16, but the 8 got loose. Kronberg is faster going down the back straightaway, and he has the slipstream as well. Coming into the bus stop, is Kronberg going to use this to overtake? Kronberg is a little tighter, but the 8 is able to hold him off so far. Coming into the carousel. And Kronberg is still a little bit better on the inside. There's 2 turns to go. If the results stay as it is, Kronberg is going to overtake the 8 is going to get a little bit of a gap over Kronberg. Both the 8 and the 96 are a dead tie for points for 2nd. Buckworth Huckleberry is going to come in with the win. But can Kronberg overtake DeMarza? Not quite, coming into the last turn. 16 in 2nd, 8 in 3rd, and the Mason-Dixon teammates of 4th and 5th. Davenport in 6th, Pasquale in 2nd, Martin in 8th. Baker in 9th, and Guy in 10th. That is your top 10 here at Watkins Glen.